Hi there, everybody. Do you remember this list? I showed it to you guys before. It's the list of all of the different ways that information writers can add to their pieces. We tried doing this with our first topics pieces. Could you check them again? Which of these do you feel like you've done a lot already in your drafts? Which of these did you maybe forget about that you feel like you could try? Go ahead, pause the video. Take a second to write a couple of them down that maybe you haven't tried. Yeah, friends, these types of lists can be really helpful, but this isn't actually what authors do. Authors don't have a giant list of all of the things that they think they can do. In fact, authors know that, especially information authors, that this isn't the whole list, that there are as many ways that you can add more to your information piece as there are information sentences in the world. And so, writers, today what I want to teach you is that when information writers draft and revise, they oftentimes consider adding more, and they elaborate or add more by studying a mentor text, taking note of all the different kinds of information writing that are out there, and then using those different ways to teach about their own subtopics, their own chapters that they're writing inside of their books. And that's actually how I started making this list. I studied a mentor text, and so I thought that we could maybe do a little bit of that today. I'm going to show you a mentor text that maybe you've seen before. It's The Emperor Penguin's Body. And as we read this, we need to be thinking in our heads, what's the author actually doing here? Like, I know what they're writing about, but could I name the move that they're making to add more here? Is it something on this list, or, well, quite frankly, is it something that we can name ourselves? Let's read through and see if we can do this. The body of an emperor penguin is designed for life in the Southern Ocean. An emperor penguin has powerful wings. It uses its wings as flippers while it swims. Well, I feel like we actually might be able to name this sentence in a couple ways. Maybe you could call it uses. It's a sentence that's all about how something's used. Or maybe you could call it a description. No, that's not one of the ones I had on here. This is a new one. So I'm going to call mine description. You may call yours something else, right? And, I'm also noticing, maybe I could call this an action. It could be that this is something that they do, right? It uses its flippers to swim. Let's keep reading. Let's see if there's anything else. Its body is streamlined or smoothly shaped, allowing the penguin to swim quickly through the water. An emperor penguin must swim quickly to find food and avoid predators. Predators are animals that hunt and eat other animals. Well, I'm noticing these two bolded words here, and it seems like they explain those words really well. So maybe right here they're using expert words and definitions. So now that I've found a couple of things that this particular author has done, I might be able to use those. You might pause here. You might actually go into your text and do what I just did. See if you can find an expert text that you've been reading about and, pay attention to what's being said. But really try to ask yourself, maybe go by a couple of sentences and ask, what is the author doing here to add more? What are they doing that I could name? Try that right now. Pause the video. Go ahead, find a book. Or maybe you're an e-reader. You got a couple of these? Fantastic. We can take these things and we can actually use them to write our own pieces. Not in the same words as the author, but we can use the same moves that they make to write more. So here, I've got actions, expert words, descriptions. These are all just the new ones today that I found. Let's go into my piece of All About Frogs. I'm going to look at frog habitats today. I've got to do a little bit of drafting to add more to frog habitats. So maybe I could draft using descriptions and actions and expert definitions. Okay, let's see if I can maybe try this. Hold on. maybe I can start off frog habitats. Okay, I got to think about my subtopic. So all about frog habitats. What do I know? Well, I know that frog habitats. I know what happens when it gets cold. Maybe I could write a description. Um, the leaves turn colors and fall, and the first frost hits the ground. Frogs know what to do. Okay, cool. See, I did a little bit of description. I've got frogs know what to do. I could do some actions next. What do they actually do? Um, to avoid the cold, some frogs dig holes to hibernate. That's an expert word, hibernate. I could write a definition after that. Hibernate means to go into a sleep-like state to survive the cold. Oh, friends, I'm on my way. Do you see what I did there? I took all of those things that we found, all those different types of pieces, and I was able to write a couple of lines in my piece about frog habitats. I feel like I can take these and add these to my list of things that I've already done. And, maybe friends, you guys can too, right? We can all look through mentor texts to add more tools in our toolbox that we have to write more about our pieces. And today, you might use some of the things that you found. So, you took a second to find and name a few things inside of your pieces. Try them inside of your own piece to add more, right? Your subtopic that you're writing right now, you can use these to get a few more sentences down. And maybe even you can talk to your neighbors, or you can talk to your partners in your process with this. And, well, you guys could swap some of the moves that you found, right? Maybe like I could go to my friend and take a move of theirs and bring it over to mine and try writing that down. Now, I'll be honest, friends, this doesn't work as nicely as mine does all the time. Sometimes you have a move and it just doesn't really fit with your piece. But that's okay. That just means that you can go to another mentor text and find a different move. Regardless, today, go off into your pieces and add more. You can do that by studying some mentor texts and asking yourself, what's the author doing here to add more to their piece that I could try too? And then just trying it. Happy experimenting today, friends. Writerly lives live writerly lives, so off you go.